This is Lefty from the Coco and Lefty show. We're going to do an all Lefty show today of jokes. Um, this magician, Mandrake, has this wonderful job on a cruise ship. He does the show twice a week. It's a new audience every week, and it's a real easy gig. The only problem is that the captain's parrot, Morris, is always at the show, and Morris will heckle him from the audience. Morris will say, "Hey, watch that guy. That deck of cards is all ace of spades." Or, "You see that handkerchief go up and disappear? He has it on a rubber band. It went up his sleeve." And watch those hats that he's showing you. It's one hat inside of another. When he slips one out, when you're not watching, a dove flies out that was hidden in between. Well, the magician's Mandrake's getting kind of tired of this, but it's the captain's parrot, and what can he do? Well, one day they're out at sea and the ship sinks. And as luck would have it, Mandrake the magician finds himself floating at sea on a table, debris, with Morris the parrot. Well, they're floating along and they're glaring at one another because they're certainly not friends. Finally, on the second day, Morris says to Mandrake, he says, "I promise, I'm not going to say a word about your shows anymore. Just bring the fucking ship back." Okay, that's the Morris and Mandrake joke. Now we're going to move on to another one. This club owner needs a pianist to play during supper hour at his club. So he puts an ad in Variety, and he gets a response. This man comes in and says, "I'm really a good pianist and I make up all my own music. And I guarantee that if you hire me, your business will pick up. People will sit here, they won't want to leave, they'll order extra drinks." So the owner says, "Okay, sit down at the piano and let's hear something." So the musician sits down and he plays, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The club owner says, "What do you call that?" And he says, "I screwed my wife in the ass in church." The owner says, "Oh, geez, but it was really beautiful." He says, "Well, play something else." So the musician plays something else, another piece of music, and it's so beautiful. The owner says, "Well, what do you call that?" And he says, "I call that My Daughter Blue, My German Shepherd Sandy, and Her Brother." The owner says, "Well, you really play well, and I'm sure you'll be a wonderful addition to the club, but could you please promise that you won't tell the names of your compositions?" Musician says, "No problem." Anyway, he's been there for about 2 weeks, and everything's going fine. And business picks up, people are sitting and they're listening. One evening, musician goes to the bathroom on his break, and he comes back, and he's forgotten to zip up his fly. So he's passing one of the tables at the club, and somebody whispers, "Psst, hey, your fly's open and your dick's hanging out. Do you know that?" He says, "Of course I know that. I wrote it." And in the last Coco and Lefty show, we told the joke and I didn't have time to finish it, so I'm going to squeeze it in today. One day in line at the company cafeteria, Joe says to Mike behind him, "My elbow hurts like hell. I guess I'd better go see a doctor." "Listen, you don't have to see a doctor and spend all that money." Mike replies, "There's a diagnostic computer down at Costco. Just give it a urine sample and the computer will tell you what's wrong and what to do about it. Takes 10 seconds and it costs $10. A lot cheaper than going to the doctor." Well, Joe does that and takes his urine sample, puts it in the machine, spits out an answer in 10 seconds, says, "You have tennis elbow, Give your arm a rest, and you'll be fine. So then Joe says, yeah, I think I'm going to try to trick that computer. So he takes a urine sample from his dog, sperm samples from himself. Goes back to Costco, easy to check the results. He deposits $10, pours in the concoction, waits for results. Computer prints the following. Your tap water's too hard, get a water softener, aisle 9. Your dog has ringworm, bathe him with an antifungal shampoo, aisle 7. Your daughter has a cocaine habit, get her into rehab. And your wife is pregnant, twins, they aren't yours, get a lawyer. And if you don't stop playing with yourself, your elbow will never get better. Thank you for shopping at Costco. Bye-bye.